I hit him with, he's going to keep coming. So I had to try my best to get him out.
Like I said, I'm a fan first and foremost of his. Over the years, leave my boy alone. What has it, if he's done something to you, speak to me or speak to Daniel direct and he will apologize to you. That's the sort of.
Tensions in the heavyweight division continue to build after a heated backstage confrontation between Daniel Dubois and Moses Itauma. What began as a brief exchange quickly escalated into a moment of real intensity, with Dubois issuing what appeared to be a firm warning to the unbeaten rising prospect. Itauma, however, showed no signs of intimidation, standing his ground and matching the champion's.
See, listen. Although like he had the performances he had, he's still a solid fighter. And you just got to give him the respect that he deserves. So.
Energy word for word. The incident immediately triggered speculation across boxing circles about whether this is the early stage of a future all-British heavyweight showdown. Despite the drama, Moses Itauma later downplayed the confrontation when speaking publicly, rather than dwelling on Dubois or the growing rivalry. The young heavyweight insisted his focus remained strictly on his own development and performances. Itauma's calm reaction.
I don't care. I don't care. Whether he's game or whether he's not game, it doesn't make a difference because I'm only worried about.
Suggested a fighter unwilling to get dragged into verbal wars or promotional distractions. Instead, he made it clear that his long-term goals in the sport matter more than any single backstage exchange, reinforcing the image of a prospect who is staying grounded despite increasing attention. Daniel Dubois, meanwhile, addressed the rising noise around Itauma with a very different tone. While acknowledging that hype and callouts are part of boxing, the IBF heavyweight champion made his position unmistakable.
Yeah, he's gonna talk some shit. He's gonna come back. So, you know, all of that, it's all good for the fight. But I need to show them that if he's gonna come back, he's gonna have to face me for all the belts. So that's my real priority right now, is getting all them belts and, you know, really stamping my authority on this division, on this era of boxing.
Absolutely, man. Well,
clear. Dubois stressed that his priority is unifying and collecting every major title in the division, not getting caught up in distractions or side narratives. In his view, any contender, including Moses Itauma, will eventually have to go through him if they want to reach the top of the heavyweight mountain. His message reflected a champion fully aware of his status and determined to protect it. Prominent trainer Don Charles also reacted to Dubois' recent performance.
My thoughts, I'm still trying to recover. I need my heart checked. Yeah, I'm getting old, you know, from all this excitement. Yeah, but basically, what was my thoughts? What a magical, epic fight between two warriors, two gladiators. There was no losers in there tonight, in my opinion. Boxing won. There was no losers in there. Yes, we're going home with the belt, but Fabio, I mean, they don't make. I said to him after, they don't make men like him anymore. They don't. Yeah, it's a throwback. It really is. And so is Daniel. And boxing won because for the neutrals, whoa, that lived up to expectations. In fact, more. It delivered more. Yeah. So no, God is.
Performances, offering high praise after what he described as a thrilling and hard-fought victory. He called the bout one of the most memorable heavyweight clashes in recent years, highlighting the grit, courage, and resilience shown in the ring. According to Charles, there were no real losers in that contest, only two fighters who pushed each other to the limit. His comments further cemented Dubois' growing reputation as a fighter who thrived.
I just going through the motion, he's serious about it, you know, so I liked it.
Yeah, like his energy was like very calming throughout the week.
Yes, it was.
In high-pressure wars rather than avoiding them. Boxing legend Roy Jones Jr. also weighed in, focusing on Dubois' mindset and composure. He noted that the champion appeared mentally locked in throughout fight week and never showed signs of being distracted by outside noise or psychological games. Jones emphasized that this kind of calm, controlled confidence is often what separates elite-level fighters from the rest. In a division where emotions can...
I don't beat myself up about it because I just didn't know. But it's only like now that I recently moved to Ben Davison, I've actually really like kind of got the wider aspect of boxing. I've learned a lot more. If I had this information when I was boxing these fighters, I know I would have had probably 100% KO streak. I forgive myself because I did.
Easily take over, Dubois' ability to remain focused under pressure was seen as a major asset that could serve him well in future championship defenses. On the other side of the discussion, Moses Itauma reflected on his own growth as a fighter and credited trainer Ben Davison for helping him understand the sport on a much deeper level. Itauma admitted that earlier in his career there were technical and tactical aspects of boxing he didn't fully grasp. However, under Davison's guidance, he believes he is...
Who do you think wins between Dubois and Itauma?
Right now, the odds, the favourites, Daniel is the world champion, so I think Daniel. Yeah, but we know Itauma how he is. But the era of Ben Davis is down, fellas. Get it right.
Developed into a far more complete and intelligent heavyweight. That improvement, in his words, could be the key to unlocking elite performances as he continues climbing toward world title contention. Former contender Derek Chisora also shared his thoughts on a potential future clash between Dubois and Itauma. While respecting Dubois' position as a world champion, Chisora suggested that Itauma's development under Ben Davison could make him a serious threat.
What can you ask more of Daniel there?
What do you want next for Daniel Dubois?
I don't know, we'll see. Let him enjoy it first.
I did speak to Stan Dubois and he had a little hug with Moses Itauma and he said, we want you next. What do you think about that?
Yeah, listen, that's a fight that's inevitably going to happen, isn't it? So let's see what goes on.
You think that's fight of the year?
That last night, tonight. But if it's not, I mean, Walker Eggington, then that. But that was amazing. That was amazing.
In the near future. According to him, the heavyweight division is always shifting, and rising prospects can quickly become elite-level problems for established champions. His comments added more fuel to the growing belief that this matchup could eventually become unavoidable. Boxing manager Sam Jones added another layer to the conversation by revealing that conversations may already be happening behind the scenes. He suggested that Itauma's team could be keeping a close eye on Dubois with discussions about a potential clash reportedly taking place after recent fights. While nothing official has been confirmed, Jones's comments have only intensified speculation that promoters and teams are already considering this as a major domestic showdown waiting to happen. Meanwhile, Fraser Clark praised Dubois for his toughness and determination during difficult moments in his recent performances. Clark admitted that some of Dubois' fights are less about technical perfection and more...
I'll tell you what, it's one of the best fights I've ever seen. One of the best fights. Fair play to Fabio Wardley. What a hard man he is. He didn't want to quit. His corner didn't pull him out. And Daniel Dubois kept his composure. He kept his composure, stuck to the plan. He started to get a bit tired himself. He realised that Wardley's still got something in the tank. He kept pulling it out of the bag. He looked dead on his feet. But what a fight.
About raw resilience and fighting spirit. However, he believes Dubois has proven repeatedly that he can absorb pressure, respond under fire, and still come out on top. That ability to endure adversity, Clark argued, is what makes Dubois a legitimate force in the heavyweight division. Trainer Dominic Ingle also offered his perspective, focusing on Dubois' discipline and composure. He highlighted how the champion managed to stick to his game plan even in exhausting and chaotic...
What about Daniel Dubois?
Daniel was fucking amazing. He was getting hit, but he was not quitting. He didn't have the quit in his eyes this day. You see, we wanted to win the fight. And he just fucking body gumption, carried on, mushed Fabio down, mushed him, and then at the end, he got his man.
Do you think he gets a third fight with Usyk?
No, I don't want to see a third fight with Usyk. I want him to defend the title, make some money, defend it, and then fight Usyk.
Like Itauma?
No, I don't want to see no Itauma.
Who do you think wins between Dubois and Itauma?
Right now, the odds, the favourites, Daniel is the world champion, so I think Daniel. Yeah. But we know Itauma how he is.
Exchanges. According to Ingle, that level of control under pressure is a sign of real progress in Dubois' career. It suggests a fighter who is not just relying on power, but also developing the mental structure needed to succeed at the very highest level of boxing. Derek Chisora further reinforced his admiration for Dubois, emphasizing his warrior mentality and refusal to quit in tough situations. He praised the champion for pushing through adversity and continuing to impose himself even when fights become physical.
Talk about Dubois fighting Moses Itauma. I don't know if you've sparred either of them, but what do you think of that?
I sparred both of them. You know, Moses is like a ghost. You can't hit him, and he hits you with about 20 punches. And then, and Dubois is a big concussive puncher, even with his jab. So that would be interesting. I bet it'd be a very interesting fight. I don't think that will happen, not anytime soon.
Who would you lean to? Most people I spoke to are leaning towards Moses.
Moses in the future, but right now at this stage, it's got to be Dubois.
By stoppage points, you don't know.
I think stoppage if he was to beat him. Yeah.
Physically and mentally draining. In Chisara's view, Dubois has matured into a legitimate world-level operator who is still evolving but already possesses the heart of a top champion. Having shared experience with both fighters, Nick Webb provided a unique breakdown of how a future matchup might unfold. He described Moses Itauma as exceptionally difficult to hit cleanly, with sharp movement and awareness beyond his years. At the same time, he acknowledged Dubois' explosive punching power as a major factor that can change any fight instantly. Webb ultimately suggested that Dubois would likely enter such a matchup as the more proven fighter.
There's no disrespect, there's no respect in boxing. We're going in there to punch each other's head in, so he's going to try and knock me out, I've got to try and knock him out. So, you know, after the fight there'll be respect, so it is what it is.
Do you think you got to him, mentally?
Maybe, yeah. I'd say so. I'm not reading too much into the mind.
But he also admitted Itauma's potential makes him a genuine long-term threat. Dubois himself has also spoken more broadly about his mindset in the ring, making it clear that respect does not exist once the bell rings. In his view, boxing at the highest level is purely about domination, timing, and breaking your opponent's will. He has acknowledged that mind games are part of the sport, but insists he does not allow himself to be emotionally influenced by them. Instead, he focuses on staying calm, controlled, and mentally disciplined regardless of what happens outside the ropes. Derek Chisara also gave further praise following Dubois' recent performances.
What can you ask more of Daniel there?
What do you want next for Daniel Dubois?
I don't know, we'll see. Let him enjoy it first.
I did speak to Stan Dubois, and he had a little hug with Moses Itauma, and he said, "We want you next." What do you think about that?
Yeah, listen, that's a fight that's inevitably going to happen, isn't it? So let's see what goes on.
You think that's fight of the year?
That last night, tonight. But if it's not, I mean, Walker Eggington, then that. But that was amazing. That was amazing. What a
highlighting his ability to push through punishment and still come forward aggressively. He described Dubois as a fighter who breaks opponents down through constant pressure and physical strength. However, he also advised caution regarding future career moves, suggesting Dubois should focus on defending his title and building his legacy rather than rushing into unnecessary rematches or risky fights too soon. Finally, David Hayes summed up the broader heavyweight landscape by calling recent fights some of the most entertaining battles the division has produced in years. He praised both fighters involved for their bravery, endurance, and willingness to engage in high intensity.
I've never seen a heavyweight fight that captivating, that entertaining, round after round, backwards and forwards. The heart on these guys, the balls, the bravery. That's what you want to pay. That's what you want to. We hope every time we tune in for a heavyweight championship, you're getting that type of energy. They both gave everything they had. I could watch that.
The exchanges from start to finish. According to High, this is exactly what fans expect from elite heavyweight boxing. Non-stop action, courage under fire, and full commitment until the final bell. Overall, the growing conversation around Daniel Dubois and Moses Itauma highlights a heavyweight division packed with tension, excitement, and uncertainty. Dubois represents the established champion mindset, focused, disciplined, and determined to unify titles and cement a legacy at the top. Itauma, on the other hand, represents the new wave, young, ambitious, and rapidly improving under elite guidance. With respected voices across boxing weighing in, speculation continues to grow that this could one day become one of the biggest domestic heavyweight clashes in the sport. For now, both fighters remain on separate paths, but the overlap between their trajectories feels inevitable. And in a division as volatile as heavyweight boxing, moments like these often mark the beginning of something much bigger waiting just around the corner.